Okay, good afternoon everyone. So, welcome back to your biology practical class. Um, so, today I will discuss about the next practical, and before that, listen carefully that for the index part, don't write down the index part right now. Okay, don't write down the index part right now. Just okay, let's join everyone. So students, please tell me you can hear me properly or not? Students, can you hear me properly? Okay, okay. So look, as I was not telling you the all the practicals according to your syllabus. So just write down the practicals in your practical page. Don't write down the index right now and don't mark the pages. Okay, so at the end of the all the practicals I will tell you the proper arrangement, and according to that you have to arrange all your pages, and after that you should mark the pages. Okay, so don't write the heading of the practicals in the index part right now. You will write it down at the end of the practicals. Devjit, project name and topics already discussed in a video which has been uploaded already in so many weeks ago in the YouTube. Just check the video, you will get your name there and your topic also. Clear, Devjit? I was telling. Now, can you hear me, Devjit? Devjit, can you hear me right now? I was telling you that the name of the students and the topic of the project already explained in a video, and this was a live class, and you can find it in your YouTube channel of the school. There you just check the video. From the video you will get your name and your project topic also. Have you seen the video? No, right? So just check it and you will get the link from the e-portal also of mine. So search it, you will find your name and project. Okay, and if you get, please let me know through the e-portal. Clear, Devjit? So come back to the practical part, that what I was telling you. Just write down the practicals right now, whatever I am discussing. So one more thing I would like to tell you, that is that in the syllabus, from the syllabus there are two headings, that is A and B. So from the portion A, don't write down the practical number 6, that is isolate DNA from available plant materials such as spinach, green pea seeds and papaya. Don't write this one. And the another one, flowers adapted to pollination by different agencies like wind, insects and birds. Don't write these two practicals. Okay, except these two you have to write down other practicals. I will show you one by one, and I will help you to find out the result of some practicals. Okay, after that you should write it down. Okay, so in my previous two classes I have completed the some animals and plants that can be found in the aquatic condition, and another and first practical I have discussed, that is pollen germination. Okay, the heading of the practical was that prepare a temporary mound to observe pollen germination. I have discussed it already. So today I will explain about some azeric plants. So what is the heading of the practical? Let me tell you that two plants and animals, models or virtual images found in xeric conditions comment upon their morphological adaptations. That is comes under the spotting, point number 7, and I have discussed the point number 8, that means the two plants and animals of aquatic condition. Okay, so today I will explain that about the two plants and animals that can be found in xeric plants, found in xeric condition. Now, so we have to know about their morphology. So for that we have to know some adaptations they are having for surviving in the xeric conditions. Before that we have to know that what is the meaning of the xeric plants or xerophytes. So plants which can survive in the hot deserts. So plants which can survive in the hot deserts and they are adapted to the dry conditions of soil, high temperature. Okay, some plants which can survive in the high temperature, high soil conditions. Okay, and particularly in the hot desert, these are called as xerophytes, or we can call it xeric plants and xeric animals. Okay, so these plants and animals which are living in this particular condition, they need to cope with different type of stresses. Okay, because in this type of condition, what they will get a high temperature, right? They will get very less amount of water. There is rarely rainfall will be there. Okay, very less amount of water can be found. So there are some other problems they need to face in this particular desert condition. So how they are resolving this problem and surviving in this particular condition, we have to know these special features. Okay, so as you know that what is adaptation, as I was using the term adaptation, that some characters that the particular plants and animals are having to survive in a particular environment. Okay, so first for xeric plants I will discuss about 3 plants. In the syllabus they have told you to know about 2 plants, but I will discuss 3 plants, and in between these 3 any 2 will may come in the examination. So you have to write down 3 plants and 2 animals. So first one is acacia. Okay, so it is a drought enduring xerophytic plant, and their older stems are covered with a thick brown bark. Okay, and their leaves are very bipinnate types, and I will show you that you have read already in the class 11, and you know what is the meaning of this type of leaf. So you have read it already in the morphology of the leaves, and these type of leaves are helping them to reduce the transpiration. You know what is transpiration? That transpiration is a process by which plant can release the excess amount of water, but as they are living in the hot desert condition, so they need to store water. So what they will do, that they will try to preserve water and try to reduce very less amount of water. So they will try to reduce the transpiration to save the water. Okay, so their leaves are modified for this, and their stipules are modified into spines. Again, why? Because of the reduction of the water loss by transpiration and protection their plant body from the grazing animals or prevent grazing. Okay, so if any grazing animal comes and they get this type of spines, then they will not try to eat them, so they will get the protection from the grazing animals. Okay, so these are the some features of acacia. I will show you, as I have told you, that this can be done through any virtual image or models or the specimens. Okay, before the examination I will show you the real leaves of this plant. Now today I will show you the images from the book. Okay, so next plant you have to write down, that is Ziziphus. Zizyphus. Ziziphus. Okay, so it is also a drought enduring spiny wild shrub. Okay, it is a wild shrub, and this can be grown in the wasteland, in the arid regions, and their leaves are very small and they are having that leathery type of appearance. And there are some, the leaves on the lower surface of the leaves, they are having some hairy like of structure, and again their leaves, why this type of thicky appearance, leathery? Because to prevent the water loss through transpiration. Okay, and they are also having spines, again the same reason. The stipules are, for the same reason stipules are modified to spines. Okay, and the third plant you have to write, that is Opuntia. I hope all of you have seen the Opuntia plant, and it is also a succulent or drought enduring xerophyte, and which also grows wild in the arid regions. And there you can find that their leaves stems are joined, flattened and green. A term you have read, that is phylloclade. So that was applicable for Opuntia, that their stems are broad, joined and flat, which is called as phylloclade, and it appears green. Okay, so it is green, and what is the function of this type of modification? It is helping them in transpiration. Okay, this type of structure, this type of phylloclade is green in color. As you know that for photosynthesis it is required, so this structure helping them in photosynthesis. And their stems are also quite fleshy and spongy to store the water. Okay, and they are having abundant amount of mucilage also, which helps in retaining the water. Okay, so as you can see that their main stress is to save water inside their body, and for that reason they are doing this type of modifications. Okay, and also they are having some number of bristles to reduce the transpiration and to prevent their body from the grazing. Okay, and now I will show you the plants. So this is the acacia plant, you can see. So you can see the spines and the leaves. Okay, so this is the acacia plant. Next one I have told you, that is Ziziphus. So this is the Ziziphus plant. So you can see the leaves and the spines. And the last one, that is the Opuntia, and there you can find the phylloclade, spines, right? So this is the Opuntia plant. So what I was telling you, that before the examination, when I will revise all the spotting part, I will show you the original leaves of these particular plants. Okay, but the animals will not be, I will not be able to show you because these are the large animals. So these can be provided only images or virtual images. So two aquatic animals are kangaroo rat and camels. So kangaroo rat is a, rat means rodent. So kangaroo rat is a xerophyte. It is a rodent, and they are having some nocturnal. They are having nocturnal habits. Why? Because at the daytime they can't tolerate the heat of the sun. That is why at the daytime they will stay in the deep burrows inside the sand or the soil. Okay, but at the night they will come out, because at the night in the desert condition it is quite cold. Okay, so they will stay in the deep burrows during the daytime, but at the night time they will come out from the burrows and they will move in search of the food. Okay, so that type of habit is called as nocturnal habits. This type of habits can be found in kangaroo rats. Okay, and they can conserve the water in their body by excreting solid urine, and they can live without drinking water. Okay, and as they can make a deep burrow inside the soil, so they can seal the burrow by the daytime, and they can keep their burrow or the chamber moist. Okay, and it can obtain water from the different metabolic processes, and they can get it from the food also. Okay, so these are the, and they are having pinna, neck, eyes, limbs are also there, a tail is also there in their body. So I will show you the structure in from the picture, a picture of a kangaroo rat. So this is the kangaroo rat, you can see. Okay, and the next one is the camel. Okay, and the camels are considered as sheep of the desert. So camels can be found particularly in the xeric condition. It is the main animal of this area. So what are the different characteristics they are having to survive in this particular environment? So first of all, they are having long legs. Okay, they are having long legs. Why? Because the long legs will help them to keep their main body away from the sun. As they have to tolerate the heat of the sun during the day, so with the help of the long legs, they can keep their body, main body, away from the heat of the sun. Okay, that is why they are having long legs. Another one, they are having pads on their leg, end of the leg and feet. Why? Because they need to walk on the hot sand, so this will protect their feet. Okay, and another important part, they are having hump. In the hump, they can store fat. Okay, they can store fat, and from this fat, from the degradation of this fat, they can get their requirements. Okay, so they can accumulate its fat in the hump. They don't accumulate it all over the body. They can mainly accumulate it in the hump. Okay, and next thing is that another thing that I have mentioned already, that they are having, their feet is having fleshy pads below which they can move on the hot and slippery sand. Okay, and another thing, that is it has a slender snout which bears a cleft upper lip, long eyelashes and muscular nostrils, which can be closed for protection from sandstorm or wind blown sand. Okay, so as they are having large eyelashes, this type of nostrils, these structures are protecting them from the windstorm. Okay, or the sandstorm particularly we can call it. Okay, and they can excrete very less amount of water. They can live without taking water for many days due to the storage of the fat. Okay, and they can withstand the high temperature. Okay, so these are the, and many other points, as you know, you have read already many times in junior classes. So these are the some features of camel that can help them to survive in the xeric condition. So let me show you the structure of the camel. So this is the camel, right? So with that, today I am completing this practical. So what was the heading of the practical? Two plants and animals found in xeric condition. So just write it down in your practical copy, and in my next class I will try to show you some common disease causing organism, or any type of or the cell divisions. Okay, so for today that's it. Thank you, and bye bye everyone.